Happy Friday, everybody. I hope you are ready for an amazing Labor Day weekend. I wanted to share my experience and uh, I went to a real estate conference in Dallas, Texas this past week, and I wanted to share some of the knowledge that I learned there. So I'm going to share my screen and show you some of the slides of the conference. So here we are. So let me start with this slide and let me make it a little bit bigger so that I can explain what the topic of the conference was. So we were basically going over and exploring what is happening to the market, what is going to be with the real estate market. Is there time to panic about what is going to happen within the real estate market? So I know that there's a lot of buyers that are sitting on the sideline. There's a lot of sellers that are thinking, let's wait and see what happens. So let's look at some data stats and see what the experts are saying. So these slides are from a coach that I coach with, Tom Ferry, and a close company that he works with, Keeping Current Matters, that actually is a group of economists that come up with a lot of information, and they explore a lot of data within the real estate industry, and they give us this information, and it's very valuable. So that's what I'm sharing. So that's basically the consensus is that we are looking at depreciation, which is something that I also believe that it's not going to happen. Yes, yes, we are seeing very high interest rates right now, and that is basically something that the whole government is trying to curtail inflation, which is a good thing. We don't want runaway inflation. So depreciation to some extent is not bad, because we don't want the prices to go up as much as fast as they have done. But do we see a crash happening? I don't think that's likely. And so this is what we're here to explore. So this is from Fortune, a 20% home price decline, and maybe we see a 20% home price decline, but that's not because the market is crashing. That's because we're artificially trying to bring that to the market, because we went up in price from the 4 years that we were dealing with COVID. The prices have gone up so much that even if we see a 20% price decline, that is not the end of the world. It is not the crash of 2008. So let's keep moving forward and see what else we have over here that I can share with you. So this shows the consumer confidence in home prices, and as you can see, it is following from all the way from 2010 and all the way to 2023, and yes, everybody's talking about a crash, and everybody in January of 2023, everybody had the sentiment that the prices are crashing, but we have not really seen that materialize, because because of lack of inventory, essentially. So let's keep going, and this is what I want to basically explain. Most agents know what's happening. Good agents understand what's happening, and great agents can explain what's happening. So given the fact that I consider myself to be a great agent, this is what I'm doing. I'm explaining what the market is doing. So let's keep going, and people would panic and put their homes on the market. Is that what we're seeing? Well, we don't see a panic. We don't see people putting their houses on the market. As a matter of fact, we've had some of the lowest inventory we've seen in years because people are not panicking and people are not putting their houses on the market in droves. So let's see. New monthly listing counts in thousands. So these numbers are very telling because everybody thought that okay, with the pandemic we're going to see everybody put their houses on the market, and in turn the opposite has happened. We have not seen a whole lot of houses come on the market, but this is usually how the houses go on the market. This is a yearly. This basically shows a chart of how many houses go on the market based on the monthly seasonality of the market. So as you can see, we see a lot of homes go on the market January, February, March. The peak happens in May, and then we start to decline. And I always like to tell my clients that yes, we have an uptick in October. That is the last hurrah before we go into the holiday season and things start to slow down. Now that begs the question: is October, November, December a bad time to put the house on the market? And in my opinion, it actually isn't, because if you have buyers out there that must get into a house, they're not going to wait. They're going to buy because they have to get into a house. So if you put your house on the market in those months, then you're dealing with the most serious buyers. And if they have to get into a house, then they're going to pay whatever it is that you're asking for so that they're able to get into the house. Okay, and so again, this basically continues as far as continues the trend of seasonality of the market, and we're looking at the chart of 2022 because we don't have the data for 2023 yet. But what this actually shows you is how severely we're dealing with the lack of inventory, because in 2017, 18, and 19, these were the number of homes that we were selling. And if you compare it to 2022, you can see that we're way below the number of houses that we need to have in order to have a normal market, or even a market that resembles anything similar to 2017, 18, and 19. So let's keep going, and let's look at this one. The 48-year average monthly price movement. Okay, and we're also looking at this in terms of okay, so how do the prices behave on a monthly basis? And if you hear the news saying that the prices are declining in October, November, December, is that decline because of actually the market decline, or is that a decline because of a seasonal decline? So right now today is September 1st, 2023. So if the news comes out and says that the prices are declining, then does that mean that the prices are actually declining, or are we dealing with the seasonality of the market? So something to consider. And okay, so along the same line, 40-year average versus 2022. Let's see how we have done if we compare to 48-year average. So yes, we are seeing some declines in 2022, exactly as exactly the time that the Fed came out and raised interest rates. So yes, we are seeing the declines, and these are the declines that by the amount. So just so that you see, do we have an actual free fall and a crash on the market? No, as you can see, the decline levels are minuscule. So I hear a lot of my clients say, hey, I'm going to wait and I'm not going to buy until I see some foreclosures come on the market. Well, with this data, you can be sure that foreclosures are not coming on the market. There's a lot of equity sitting in a lot of homes, and the decline is not a free fall. So if we don't see a free fall of prices, then you're not going to see foreclosure coming onto the market. Okay, then let's see. Again, another stat in terms of comparisons. 48-year average compared to 2022 compared to 2023. And yes, we are 2023. We're not seeing as robust of the market as we saw in 2022. But again, the information is telling you that we're not going to have a free fall. We're just going to have to weather the storm until we battle the inflation, bring it to a level where we can have stability in our economy, and then we're going to hopefully come back to a robust market and see more inventory come to the market. And of course, inventory is not going to happen. An increase in the inventory is not going to happen when we're looking at people who were able to refinance at 2%, 3%, and now they have to go into 7.5% interest rates. But at the same time, there's a cliche that we use these days: marry the house, date the rate. Meaning that if you get into a house and you get a 7% interest rate because you just cannot hold on to that low interest rates, you have to move on with your life, and you have to basically move, then you are getting, on a temporary basis, you can get into a higher interest rate, but that doesn't mean that you're going to stay at that higher interest rate forever. For example, I give you the example of my family and so my husband and I, we bought a house in 2004, and then we bought a house for my mother in 2005, and we both had some high interest rates. And yes, we were house poor, and every month we had to struggle when we made the payments. But once we got into 2000, once the market started declining and the interest rates started coming down, we were able to refinance into a lower rate, and each one of us was able to save at as much as $500 per month in our household, as well as my mother's household. And that enabled us to hold on to the house even in those years of 2006 through 2012, where the economy was tough to deal with. But we were able to, with the refinance and bringing down our rate, we were able to hold on to the house. So these are, yes, tricks of the trade, and I'm not saying that they are easy, but they definitely are things that we can do. If you want to be a homeowner, then definitely these are things that you can do to make sure that you can get yourself into the house, and also to make sure that you can remain in a house. So if you're thinking of purchasing, definitely any market you can find great deals. And if you're thinking of selling, this is still a great time to sell because the inventory is so low. And if you're putting the house on the market, it will be sold just like that. And if you are thinking of making a move, I am here for you. I have been in the business for many years in San Diego, and I have my connections all over the US. So if you're thinking of buying or selling, just don't think San Diego, think anywhere in the world, and I can be a resource for you and put you in touch with the best in the business. And if you are thinking of contacting me, there's my phone number, and there is my email address if you want to send me an email. If you are thinking of visiting my website, there is my website, And I also like to hang out on Instagram. So there is my Instagram handle, and I'm looking forward to seeing you there. And if you are watching this on YouTube, please leave your comments below. I'm always happy to chat with you. And I hope you have a great weekend. And thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful weekend.